I am just fresh for a morning nap. Yes, morning nap because I somehow managed to overwhelm myself so much over the last few days that my body was like, no, we are gonna sleep in the morning and we are gonna do literally nothing. And the last few days have been a lot of issues, conflict with people, a lot of administrative requests. Somehow I had to fill in so much paperwork. It was really yeah, crazy. I was running everywhere. I was, looking for work and trying to figure out all the other situations in my life and chasing contractors who are not responding to calls and not doing the work promised. I was just like, there were like so many open loops of different things where things are requiring patience, or I can't influence it because it depends on people, and my brain is still like, we need to fix it, we need to fix it. And it was just like really hectic. I did not even have any time to watch Netflix, which has been, I think, like every single day at least I'm able to take a break and watch one episode of a series or something that gives me like a full break where I literally do nothing during the day. And it's not been like this for the last almost the last week. And I really had to slow down. I really had issues with insomnia, and I really had to slow down and bring my nervous system back to the right place. And I'm gonna go rest again in a few seconds. Obviously, I'm going to finish this video first. But yeah, for me, I wanted to share because I thought that maybe you are also in places where you are like, hey, actually, I'm overwhelming myself here, and you're like, whoops, I did it again. I thought I knew better, but I'm still doing that because I know that in these moments it's just about the systems that you have. It's just about the techniques that you know, and the way you take care of yourself. And I thought I'd share my own processes because maybe that's what you needed to hear today. And maybe you also need to take a nap in the middle of the morning, and it's perfectly okay. So yeah, the first thing I always do, and I did this morning specifically, is just checking what my body felt, because I woke up after a few hours of sleep only, and I was really, really hectic, like a lot of restlessness, energy, like a lot of kind of like, something wanted to come out. And I had to go walk outside around the block for like 3 or 4 laps, just to burn that energy out. And then I came back home, and then I did a nap because my body was like, okay, now we can rest. We can just like, lay down there in the dark. We just watch the paintings around you, and we just take it easy. And it's like, if you can fall asleep, great. If you're just not falling asleep and just closing your eyes and just experiencing the world at a like slower pace, it's okay. And it can feel scary sometimes to do this because your brain is like, I want to do things, I want to do things. And like your body is like, no, no, we are taking a rest. And that's always the first step, because in the past I used to do things differently. I was like more intellectual, trying to figure things out, and it never works. So I really learned in the past few years to just use the body first, and like, what do I need physically? Is it like expulsing something, or is it just like calming something down? And maybe it's both. Maybe you just give everything out, or you dance, or you do whatever you need, and then you're like, okay, now meditation, feet against the wall, soft blankets, just relax. And yeah, that was the first step. The second step is always for me to manage the brain, because I realized over the years, and also coaching people on similar topic, that when you overwhelm yourself, it's because your brain is getting stressed about things happening around you. And there are always like three things that your brain is going to freak out for. The first thing is that if something looks like it's urgent, like like you have to fix things immediately, like there is a deadline given by somebody else, like anything where you feel like you have a time crunch, your brain is going to perceive that as a threat. Same thing if it perceives importance. So if you are stressed, you might notice that, I know it does the same for me, is that when I'm getting stressed, my brain stops filtering what's important. It's like it becomes hyper vigilant, and every single thing on my plate looks like it's the same importance level. And like, I realize that I'm missing this filter when I'm really stressed. And obviously, because I'm missing this filter, then I do more things, and then I overwhelm myself because I'm not filtering properly, or I'm not saying no to certain things and yes to certain things. So yeah, this is another thing as well. And then the last thing that the brain also will freak out about is uncertainty or lack of control, or when things are not dependent from you, or you've already tried your best and you can't see a solution happening. This type of moments where you just have to be patient and wait, and put things out there and see how the world responds. Um, Usually will trigger in your brain like a sense that you are not dealing with it, or that you are not going to figure it out, or that you're going to be stuck in that situation forever. And yeah, if I'm saying this out loud, it's like, yeah, not everything is urgent in life, not everything is important in life, and not everything that feels uncertain will never have a solution. Usually, things move with time. And And helping my brain process that is really the important piece. So I always challenge all these things. I always, try to ask questions like, is this thing really urgent? Is the deadline real? Like, who gave me the deadline? Is that something that makes absolute sense? So I can just push back and say, hey, actually, you know what, it will happen in another at another time. I get a request, for instance, for something that needs to happen this weekend, and actually I was like, no, it doesn't need to happen this weekend. It's not urgent, so let me just postpone it and move it out of my plate for now, and let's see if it happens later. Same thing for if things are important. I always try to ask myself, okay, what if I don't do this today? What if I never do this? What happens? What are the consequences? And like the realistic one, like the worst one, of course, but also the best one, and just the more realistic in between ones that are the most likely case scenario. And also I try to always ask I call it the mosquito question, mosquito bite question. It's like, if a mosquito bites you today, you will probably not remember it in a few weeks. But if a wasp or something like the weirdest insect possible bites you, and you have like a bad reaction, or like you have something that is really hurting for a few weeks and stuff like this, you will remember. I remember I was like bitten by a bee when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. I was under a tree in the garden in the summer, and it like just went on my head, and I thought it was something from the tree, and I just tried to take it out, and I got bitten. That I remember. But if you ask me the last time that I've been bitten by a mosquito, it's like, don't know. It happened for sure, but I don't know where. And it's simply because the thing is way less important, so your brain doesn't really remember it. And I always try to do this mosquito bite test to different things in my life. It's like, what I'm worried about today, is it actually something that will matter in a month, in 6 months, in a year, 5 years, and things like this, just to like kind of help my brain kind of rank the things, and just put the importance level at the right place. I also challenge if it's things that I have to do. Like sometimes the overwhelm is because you believe that you have the responsibility, or that you need to be driving things, and sometimes it's just say, hey, the people around you are also grown-ups. The people around you have to also have accountability for their own behaviors. So yeah, for instance, I had an issue with a contractor, and I ended up having to issue like a letter before action to their company to ask for repairs to be done faster. And I really felt bad because the guy was really helpful the first time around when he was doing something in my flat, but he ended up being absolutely unreliable since. And it's like, it's like I've been carrying the weight of that, and now it's like, no, it's out of my hands. It's on the hands of the company, and if things don't happen, then I will take the next step. But just like trying to kind of give people the chance to take ownership for their own behaviors as well, their own actions, and just leaving it out there removes something from my plate. That feels really good. And I also, challenge what I've give myself as an expectation, because for instance today I had like a to-do list that was so long and so demotivating. I was like, okay, maybe let me just do things in smaller chunks through the week. Take the break today. Just have a proper weekend on the Monday, whatever that is, and then see what happens. And then yeah, just like challenging a little bit sometimes why you put some deadlines, or why you put some expectations on yourself, and if when it's too much, why you're doing that, because obviously you are going to fail if it's not in the right level of capacity. So I always make sure that that this is true, that I think about it. And I also do what I call like fear management, like fear setting exercises, or fear reframe, because I know a lot of these things, when you perceive like that you have to do something immediately, or that something is urgent, or all this like uncertainty, this is all like threat responses. That means that the brain is actually scared about something, and I found that it's actually very easy to just like reframe that. So I have a sentence I always say. It's like, I'm worried about, and then I just write down every single thing that comes out of my brain, or every single thing that somebody in this situation could also be worried about. And once I have the list, I can just say, okay, this one, yes, this one, no. And then I'm like reframing it. So it's like, I'm worried about, yeah, not doing this thing because there can be consequences professionally. It's okay. All I got to do is X, Y, Z, or all I have to think about is this other thing. All I have to prepare is that. Like, I'm able to kind of find next step actions, or like even thoughts that are actually more helpful. And it's really interesting what you can get from this type of exercises without realizing. And it will tell you a lot about like, the repeated fear that you also have around things, and the worries, and where the overwhelm is coming from specifically. So yeah, this is my system. Feeling it in the body, resting when needed, and then managing the brain to help it see that it's not always urgent, not always important, not always uncertain, and challenging all these things, and really naming the fears behind that, so that they can be processed, or they can be acknowledged at least, and then the brain is like, okay, you are listening to me. You are maybe doing something about it. Okay, great. But you're doing it now in a way that is a little bit more sustainable rather than jumping around. So yeah, as I was saying, this is a short video today because I'm going to go back to napping, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Chloe, and I'm doing currently a 80-day video challenge on YouTube until I turn 40, which is going to be in 14 days on the 14th of July. And yeah, I just review everything that happened in my life over the last decades, all the things that I've learned, all my systems, tactics, philosophies, everything that is helping me, or everything that is not helping me that I want to ditch behind gets uncovered and discussed. So if you want to follow the journey, you can sign up to the challenge, to the channel down below. And yeah, I see you tomorrow for another video.